Alright, what's going on, friends? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to change your oil on your 4-stroke Mercury. Now, I have a 65 jet, so if you have something else, it might be a little bit different, but it's probably going to be real similar. Now, I just bought the oil changing kit. Now, if you read, when you take your cowling off, it will tell you here it takes 5.5 quarts, and this comes with 5 liters. So that is supposed to fill this up to the operating range when I fill this engine back up. So don't freak out thinking you're missing a half a quart. I'll put this kit down in the description if you just want to purchase one of these kits, or if you can go to your local Mercury dealer, just buy one there. But it comes with everything. It comes with that, like I said, the 5 liters, and it will come with a new filter. I'll put right here on the screen what the part number is on this filter. This kit does come with a little tube, but I bought my own. Another nice thing that comes in the kit, it will give you directions if you want to follow along. I'll put some of this tube down in the description also, and in my first comment. And you may need something to get your filter off, and a 5/8 inch wrench, and something to drain your oil in. Maybe some paper towels also. Now, if your Mercury jet is anything like mine, I have a spot on the other side here that I can hook a hose up to this, so I can run water through my engine, and I can run my engine right here at my house, so I don't have to take this and back it into a lake or a river or something to start this thing, because you cannot start this without having water go through it to cool it down. Right here is where I can hook my hose up. Now I can turn that hose on. You don't want to turn it on full bore, just turn it on and it'll start running water right off the bat before you even start running it. See how it's flowing out of your engine, and then if it seems like it's flowing good, fire your engine up and let your engine run for maybe about 5 to 8 minutes, just to let that oil warm up. It's going to drain out of that engine a lot easier if the oil is all warmed up. Let me go turn the water on. My water's on. I'm going to wait till I start seeing water shoot out here. There we go. That's a nice steady stream. So I should be able to fire this engine up and I don't have to worry about it overheating. Now, if you're firing your engine up at your house, you can only let it sit there and idle. I can't sit there and rev this engine way up. So just let it sit there and idle for about 5 to 8 minutes. Let that oil warm up. All right, I had that running about 7 minutes. Now I'm going to turn my water off and I'm going to tilt my motor all the way up so I can drain all the oil back down into the sump. All right, now we have to tilt this all the way up for about a minute. Now let it sit like that for about a minute. All that oil is going to drain back down into the sump. Then we can put it back down so it's vertically up and down, and we can drain the oil out. I'm going to get my pan ready. Clean out some of this junk. While this is up, I guess you could inspect your impeller, make sure everything looks okay in there. You don't have something jammed in there. All right, that's about a minute. Now we're going to put her down. Now on mine, I'm going to shoot for this line right here to be really close to level. Maybe a little bit more. All right, that's close enough. Now this is where you can take that hose, if you bought an extra hose, just stick it on. Right here's where your oil is going to drain out. Just put that on there. Should slide on pretty easy. If you can't get your hose to stay down like in a bucket to drain it in, maybe just put something heavy on it. But I have this hole in mine, so I can stick mine right here in this hole. All right, now we're going to crack this open. Do not take this all the way off. It says open this 2.5 turns, your drain port here. There we go. So I'm going to not put my hose in there yet. Go. There's like 1, and here comes the oil. 2, I think that's good. I'm just going to let it there. So don't exceed 2.5 turns. While it's sitting there draining, let's take the cowling off, and I'm going to pull that dipstick to help this oil flow a little bit better. All right, right here we can pull on this. Just be real careful. These are not cheap. You don't want to break these. Now it's free. Oh. All right, there we go. Now I can pull this dipstick out. Help that oil flow a little better. Try not to make a mess. On this dipstick, there's a spot right here that looks like a bunch of dots or hashes. That's your operating level right there. So when we fill this back up, you're going to want to have that oil about halfway up that. The spot in your dipstick that's like rough, you're going to want the oil to be about halfway up that. Just wipe that off and set that aside for now. Here's your oil filter. Now I'm going to let that drain for a little while. All right, while that's draining, I'm going to go grab a bite to eat, come back and finish this up. All right, I'm all fueled back up. I had some lunch, some nice goulash, and a piece of pie from Thanksgiving dinner. All right, so now the oil is completely done draining. We can take this hose off. It's not gonna work. All right, there. And tighten that a little. Now, if you do have a torque wrench that is in inch pounds, this is torqued on to 133 inch pounds, which I don't have. So, and that's not super, super tight. So just be very careful. That should be good. All right, now we can change out the filter. There's a little plug right down on here. They have a little pan here to catch all the oil that drains out of this when you start taking this off. So you can remove that plug if you want to and put your hose right on there. So all this oil is going to drain not down in your engine anyway. Make sure hopefully you'll hit your drain pan. Be careful pulling this little plug out so it doesn't go flying down inside your engine there. It's kind of a pain to get. There we go. Just a little plug like that. Set that aside. Well, I'm going to try to put this hose on there. Perfect. Now I can take the filter off. If I could find something like this too, I'll put that down in the description because I have another little wrench for filters, but these filters are so small. I had to get a different one. All right. Might be able to get that by hand. There's some oil draining right there. I'm going to let that drain for a little bit, and then I'll put the new filter on. All right, I got my new filter. If your filter has a little plastic covering, make sure you take that off. It's going to be hard to get it on there. Now I'm going to try to clean down in here before I throw this new filter on there. I don't like things being a mess. All right, before you put your new oil filter on, take some of your new oil. Just crack one of your new oils up. I dip my finger down in it. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on this rubber gasket. All right, and you can put that on. Just hand tight, and once you get it on there, a little snug, try to go maybe like a 3/4 of a turn more. There we go, 3/4 to 1 turn more after it starts touching. All right, that should be good. Now we can take our drain hose off and put that plug back in. Hopefully not make a mess. This plug back in. Perfect. Wipe up any of the oil that maybe dripped down in there a little bit. Looks good. Then I have a little gold Sharpie. I'm just going to write the date that I changed the oil on there. So 11/17/23. Now I'd recommend putting your dipstick back in so you don't forget. Now we're going to fill the oil up. All right, you got your new filter on, your drain is closed, your dipstick's in. Now you should be ready to put some new oil in. So make sure you read your manual, but for me, I'm going to put all 5 liters that came in this kit. I like to let each one sit there for a little while. Maybe when they're sitting there, you could go clean something up, put your wrenches away. This is my 3rd liter. All right. Hopefully that should be good. Put my lid back on. All right, I drained all the oil, put a new filter on, put new oil in. Now visually inspect, make sure you have your dipstick in, your fill caps back on, check where you drained it, make sure it looks like it's not leaking out. All right, I looked around, it doesn't look like I see any leaks, so I'm just gonna pull this dipstick out. Check that, it looks like it's about halfway up right now, so that's good. Now one last thing is I'm going to start my water back up again so I can fire this engine up and let this run for about 5 minutes. Then I'm going to shut it down. Then you have to let it sit for right around an hour to let all the oils drain back down in. And then you can check the oil one last time. And that'll be it. All right, like I said in the beginning of the video, you'll see all these like hash marks or this rough spot on this dipstick. That oil is going to be about halfway up this to be at operating level. But it does say, like I said in these directions, to fire this engine up one last time, let it run for about 5 minutes. Then you're going to let that oil drain back down into the sump, and then you're going to check it one last time, and that'll be it. All right, well, thanks for watching this video. I hope this video helped you out. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below if there's anything else you want to see on this boat. Let me know. Hit that subscribe button to help support my channel. God bless and happy fishing.